Well, hello and welcome back to another Digimon trading card game Battle Royale. Since the last one was so popular, we decided to do another one, but this time with only 3 people, because after his victory last time, Vladislav decided he doesn't want to associate with us peasants and instead go do his own thing. Nah, just kidding, he just couldn't make it this time, but he'll be back. In the meantime, I am joined yet again by Stanislav, who is again piloting his blue deck, because the blues is all that he has left, and Stanislav, who is this time playing a yellow Rookie Rush deck, like the degenerate he is. And I am playing an On-Force V-Dramon deck. It's a mix of the On-Force V-Dramon starter deck, some BT2 On-Force V-Dramon cards, and some good generic blue cards. And now that you know what we're playing, let's see how the game is going. And it looks like the Rookie Rush Stanislav has won the die roll. And he starts by hatching a Koromon, evolves it into Tsukaimon, and then evolves the Tsukaimon into a Turuyamon, passing the turn over to me with 1 memory. I hatch a Demi Vemon and evolve it into a Vemon from the starter deck. And I end my turn by playing a blue memory boost. With its effect, I reveal from the top of my deck an On-Force V-Dramon and Vemon from the starter deck, a Core Dramon, and a BT2 Aero V-Dramon. Among them, I take the On-Force V-Dramon to my hand and put the rest at the bottom of my deck, and pass the turn over to Stanislav with 2 memory. He hatches a Kyaramon, evolves it into Gizamon, then into Pale Dramon, and finishes with evolving it into Crisp Pale Dramon, giving the other Stanislav 3 memory to work with. He moves his Turuyamon to the battle area and immediately attacks my security with it. He hits a starter deck V-Dramon, so his Turuyamon survives the battle. And then he just drops a Kudamon and Falcomon, giving me 2 memory to start my turn with. I decide to keep my Vemon in the raising area and use the 2 memory to play an Elekmon, and I evolve it into a starter deck V-Dramon, giving Stanislav 2 memory. He moves his Crisp Pale Dramon into the battle area and plays a Howling Memory Boost, which removes 2 evolution sources under Stanislav's Turuyamon, and so the turn passes to Stanislav with 1 memory. He doesn't even hatch, he just attacks the other Stanislav with his Kudamon, using its when attacking effect to draw a card because he has 4 or less cards in his hand. Stanislav reveals a 2-cost Matt Ishida in the security, so the Kudamon survives, and then Stanislav attacks my security with his Falcomon. I reveal an EX1 Vemon, which is weaker than Falcomon, so Falcomon survives. What a lucky bastard that Stanislav is. Anyway, he then evolves his Falcomon into a Shooting Starmon and gives me 1 memory. I still keep my Vemon in the raising area and just evolve my V-Dramon into a Wing Dramon blocker so I can protect myself from some of these attacks. And it's back to Stanislav with 2 memory. But he gains an additional memory because of Matt, since we have Digimon with no evolution sources. He then hatches another Kyaramon and evolves it into Modoki Betamon. Then he evolves his Crisp Pale Dramon into an EX1 Plesiomon, and he attacks Stanislav's Turuyamon, since he can attack an opponent's unsuspended Digimon with no evolution sources. And he finishes his turn by playing a Gabumon, which on play draws him a card, giving 3 memory to Stanislav. He hatches a Tokomon this time, and evolves his Kudamon into another Shooting Starmon, which he then uses to attack my security. And since I still don't want to make my blocker vulnerable, I let the attack go through, revealing an Elekmon in my security. He then attacks the other Stanislav, revealing a Howling Memory Boost in his security, thus continuing Stanislav's lucky streak of security checks. He then plays Tai and Matt Duong Tamers, passing it over to me with 3 memory. I finally move my Vemon into the battle area and use my memory boost to give me additional 2 memory. And then, since Stanislav has a level 6 Digimon in play, I can evolve my Vemon into an On-Force V-Dramon from my hand for 4 memory. I use his when Digivolving effect to return one of Stanislav's Shooting Starmons to his hand, and I attack Stanislav's Plesiomon with him. And then, since I have 8 or more cards in my hand, I unsuspend him, and then attack the other Shooting Starmon with him. whose on deletion effect that reduces Gabumon's DP for 3000, thereby deleting it, and so both Stanislav's fields were cleared in an instant. And I end my turn by playing the Memory Tamer Davis. And with his effect I add the only BT2 Unforced Vidramon I have in my deck to my hand. Stanislav then moves his Modoki Betamon into the battle area, evolves it into a Paildramon, which removes 2 evolution sources from my Wingdramon. Then he uses one of the 2 Howling Memory boosts to gain 2 memory, and evolves the Paildramon into a Zudomon, which then removes 2 evolution sources from my Unforced Vidramon. He then uses the other Howling Memory boost and a Hammer Spark to gain 3 more memory, so he can evolve his Zudamon into Regalekusmon without ending his turn. And he uses it to attack my security. I reveal a Hammer Spark, which gives 2 memory to the other Stanislav, and he gains 2 additional memory from Matt and Tai because Stanislav now has a level 6 Digimon in play. Stanislav starts by evolving his Tokomon into a Bushi Agumon, then into Caesarmon, and then he just drops 2 2-cost rookies on the field, which ends his turn, and I start with 3 memory thanks to Davis. I hatch another Demi-Vmon and evolve it into Dracomon, and then Stanislav brings the coasters for the tea that just finished brewing. And back to the game. I attack Stanislav's Regalekusmon with my Unforced Vidramon. And since I have 8 or more cards in my hand, my Unforced Vidramon unsuspends. And I use it to attack the other Stanislav's security, revealing Marcus the Memory Tamer from the top. Then I use 2 Hammer Sparks to gain 2 extra memory, and evolve my Unforced Vidramon into the BT1 Omnimon, using his When Digivolving effect to delete Stanislav's Falcomon and giving Stanislav 1 memory to start his turn with. But of course, because of Matt, he gains an additional memory because we have a Digimon with no Digivolution sources. He hatches a Kyaramon and evolves it into another Modoki Betamon, then he plays another 2-cost Matt Ishida, and he's having an absolute blast, trashing an evolution source from my Omnimon and returning it to the bottom of my deck. Man, I just love it when my opponent uses a high cost option card to get rid of one of my powerful Digimon, and I'm not even the one that gets the memory from it. Anyway, Stanislav moves his Caesarmon into the battle area, evolves his Salamon into a Bonkmon, drops a Tsukaimon on the field and evolves it into Turuyamon, and he attacks Stanislav's security with his Bonkmon so he can try and capitalize on his +1 security attack. And the first card he checks is a blue memory boost, which means he can check another one, and it is Aero Vidramon, which deletes the Bonkmon, but he already did his job. He then attacks Stanislav's last security with his Caesarmon, revealing another Matt Ishida. And then he just drops a Mimicmon, passing it over to me. I move my Dracomon to the battle area and evolve it into a Cordramon. Unfortunately, that gives me only 1 draw instead of 2, but it'll suffice. I attack Caesarmon with my Dracomon, and I play a blue memory boost, revealing a Blitz Omnimon, Gabumon Bond of Friendship, another Wingdramon, and a V-Tamer Tai. Unfortunately, I can't take the Blitz Omnimon to my hand since it's a white card, so I take Gabumon Bond of Friendship instead. Stanislav then gains a bunch of memory from his mats and moves his Modoki Betamon into the battle area. He then plays a blue memory boost of his own, revealing a Cocytus Breath, 2 Gomamons and a Lobomon. He adds the Lobomon to his hand, then he uses the delay effect of the blue memory boost he had from before to gain 2 memory, plays an EX1 Gabumon, which trashes the bottom evolution source of my Cordramon, and attacks Stanislav's security with his Modoki Betamon. He checks an Angel Woman, so Modoki Betamon is deleted. And then he plays Pot of Greed, I mean Cordramon, which has the on-play ability to draw 2 cards. The yellow Stanislav doesn't hatch anything again, instead just attacks my security with his Turuyamon. This time I decide to block with my Wingdramon, deleting his Turuyamon, and then he evolves his Mimicmon into an Angel Woman. And since he has 3 security cards, he gets the recovery +1 from Angel Woman's when digivolving effect. And then he crashes with his Angel Woman into my Wingdramon, deleting them both. And he finishes his turn by playing a Bonkmon from his hand. At the start of my turn, I hatch another Demi Veemon, evolve it into a starter deck Veemon, use my blue memory boost delay effect to gain 2 memory, and a Hammer Spark to gain additional 1 memory, evolve my Cordramon into a Aero V-Dramon, the one from the starter deck, and now, to stay alive for one more turn, I have to attack Stanislav directly, thereby eliminating him from the game. I'm sorry Stanislav, but right now it's every man for himself. Then I play Arena Shinomiya, and with her effect I reveal 2 cards I can add to my hand. But it doesn't even matter what I add to my hand, because I just wanted to have her on the field. And I finish my turn by playing a Dracomon and adding an Aero V-Dramon from my deck to the hand with his effect. Then Stanislav of course attacks my last security with his Bonkmon, revealing an Unforced V-Dramon which deletes the Bonkmon, and then he just plays another Falcomon and a Balukimon, passing it back over to me. And now it all comes down to this. I move my Veemon to the battle area, and I evolve my Aero V-Dramon into the BT2 Unforced V-Dramon. Of course, I use my Unforced V-Dramon to attack Stanislav's security. I also activate Rina Shinomiya's effect, suspending her to give my Unforced V-Dramon plus 1000 DP. And then, since one of my blue tamers was suspended, Unforced V-Dramon unsuspends and gives me 1 memory. And since I have 8 or more cards in my hand, Aero V-Dramon's inherited effect gives him security attack +1. And both attacks go through. I again attack Stanislav's security with Unforced V-Dramon with security attack +1. And once more, both attacks go through. And now I just attack with Dracomon and finish the game. Good job me! And there you have it, another Digimon trading card game battle royale. This time with 1 player less, but nevertheless I hope you still enjoyed it. Until next time, bye!